Good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon across the continent of Africa. Good evening, good morning in America, in Europe, those waking up this morning, in Democratic Republic of Congo. The plight of the civilians is what has made me to come to call out what has happened, what's going on. Good afternoon in Harare, Johannesburg, Rwanda, Angola, Kinshasa, Bujumbura, Kigali, Kampala, Uganda, Nairobi, Kenya, Mogadishu, Somalia, Smara, Eritrea, Addis Ababa. Good afternoon. Good afternoon in Cairo, Tripoli, Tunis, Algiers, Rabat, Abuja, Monrovia, Freetown, Lagos, Accra, all the way from Accra. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our station link headquarters from Accra. Good afternoon. Good morning for us from here. And good afternoon for you across the continent of Africa. Today, we have a very important occasion of talking about Africa. Matsanga Africa Perspective wants to bring about a discussion on our continent, on each country. The turn of Democratic Republic of Congo is today. But we shall look at it from the angle of the United Nations. Has the United Nations failed Congo? The answer from the outset, from the onset and outset, is clear: yes. From 1960, under Resolution 143 of the United Nations got involved in the Congo crisis. United Nations has been in Congo. We lost the Prime Minister of Congo, Patrice Lumumba. We lost the Secretary General of United Nations and several other people in the conflict that led to the demise of the first Prime Minister elected by the people of Congo, Patrice Lumumba, by the Belgians. From 1961 to date, until 2021, we had not known who killed Patrice Lumumba. But we discovered later on that a small country in Europe called Belgium, a small state in Europe, killed Patrice Lumumba. My television therefore talks facts. My television therefore looks at the aspects, the origin, the root causes of the conflict that we have today. Why has Congo remained the boiling pot of Africa? That is what I want to bring to the tables, across to the classrooms, across to the lecture rooms of the universities in London. Those watching me, comrades, in London School of Economics, in Cambridge, in Metropolitan University, in Canterbury, my favorite campus. As a conflict resolution expert, a political scientist myself, I want to bring this to you. What are the root causes? Has the UN failed us in Congo? The answer is yes. The UN ordered the entry of an intervention brigade on 14th in 2013. Remember, in July 14th, 1960, the UN was already operating in Congo. The intentions, I'm going to narrate them to you. And I will tell you which state amongst the permanent member states that is making UN make errors as we are here today. MONUSCO, an intervention force, entered Congo in the recent 2013. In 2013, the United Nations ordered a brigade for intervention purposes to secure what was left there. Over 18,000 troops of United Nations have been in Congo. Some from 1960, remnants of 1960 remained, and missions were established all along the boundaries, within the boundaries of Congo. Have these forces ever secured peace? Have they secured safe routes? What do they do? What activities, apart from peacekeeping? First, it was peacekeeping. Now it is peace intervention. It is an intervention to bring about peace. The creation and emergence of several factions and several fighting groups in Congo, numbering over 200 of them of Congo, complicated of Democratic Republic of Congo. As we speak today, the UN is only holding a small section, a sector in Ngoma and other small places, but is not capable of holding back the main rebel groups. The pronouncements by President Tshisekedi about non-Congolese, pronouncements by several other leaders of existence of non-Congolese in the East has added, improved, created chaos, accelerated the problem of Congo today. Where did we go wrong? A vast country with minerals, a vast country with all sorts of the things that we want, attracted quite a number of international multinational companies that mine, exploit the minerals of this country to their benefit. Why has the UN cried more about Ukraine than Sudan? Why has the UN cried more about Ukraine and other parts of the world where the conflict, donor states, donor funding is injected than in Libya? Why has UN left us to kill each other in Central African Republic? For the last 30 to 40 years, we have been fighting in Central African Republic. The UN has not cared. But the UN cares more to a conflict of Israel and Palestine. Why? Are we less children of God? Is Congo an area of less children? Why haven't we put the timetable, the agenda of Congo on the same scale of the agenda of Ukraine? Why don't we call conferences that will also hold some people accountable on the question of Congo? What does UN know that we don't know? Why should UN accuse, go around, play to the gallery, accusing every country, surrounding 9 countries surround Democratic Republic of Congo? Why pick 2? How many Congolese have been protected by the UN brigade that was mandated in 2013 to enter the DRC Congo as an intervention force? The first force was peacekeeping. Were they really keeping force? Peace. Where was the peace? Why do you accuse Uganda on hearsay? Yet Uganda is in Congo officially. Ugandan troops entered the Congo on an agreement that was sanctioned by the government of Democratic Republic of Congo and the Uganda government. Uganda the presence of Ugandan troops in Congo under their agreement, a bilateral agreement that allowed Uganda to intervene in pursuit or hot pursuit of the ADF rebels. Whether it has managed to do it or it hasn't, or it will do it, and how far it has done it remains, as I said, I'm not the spokesman of the UPDF. I'm an international scholar who wants to look at the factors and lay facts very clearly. UN has failed us. UN knows the ethnicity of this great nation. UN knows the poverty rates of this nation. UN knows the infrastructural development structures that are impossible in this country. Year in, year out, UN is pumped into cash, plenty of cash from countries that sponsor the United Nations. But they have not come out. Researchers only enjoy diplomatic passports, running around aircrafts, every airport, wanting a quick way out to pass because of UN passport, but they have never sat down to analyze the crisis of Democratic Republic of Congo and given the people of Congo a long-lasting solution. I want to do it pro bono for them. The pro bono aspect of Democratic Republic of Congo is very clear. The pro bono aspect is DRC Congo can never have peace if we don't do the following. One, we have to be candid with ourselves, to be honest with ourselves. The all stakeholders in this who are affected by the conflict in Congo have to be honest. If they are not honest, if the rebels are not honest, if the government is not honest, if Tshisekedi is paying rebels to go and kill other Congolese and others, if Tshisekedi is calling other Congolese not Congolese, war will not end. I will go back to the situation of Mark Antony and go back to the situation of Julius Kambarage Nyerere. In 1966-67, Julius Kambarage Nyerere became the first person in Africa to say what I'm going to say. And may his soul rest in peace, that he left a messenger here. He left another Pan-African who speaks his mind. I have followed Kambarage Nyerere's politics. I love the politics of the people of Tanzania. I want to say one thing here and be open. It's better to die while you are speaking the truth than to die when you have not spoken or you are telling lies. Congo, to have peace, it needs rearrangement. Can I repeat this properly? You can hate me now. From now onwards, call me any name. But I've pioneered this. Countries are fearing. Rwanda has feared to say, because they can't say. Uganda has feared. And I've told you I'm not a spokesman of the Ugandan government, neither a spokesman of UPDF, or neither a spokesman of the government of Rwanda. I am, as an African, with my age, with experience that I've seen in Colombia, the experience I've seen in Afghanistan, the experience I've seen in Vietnam, Khmer Rouge, the experience I've seen in Northern Ireland, the experience I've seen in Northern Uganda between Konyi and government of Uganda, LRA and the government of Uganda, the experience I've seen in several parts of Yugoslavia, for example, where I went in 1998 with Robin Cook, the experience of all this and the research around the area, I have come to a conclusion to tell you frankly, fellow African, on this day of 10th of July, 2024, that Congo needs rearrangement. Whatever formula you want to use, you need to rearrange Congo. It is time now, it is high time that the people of Congo knew about this impending, or about this formula, about how do we resolve the conflict? By rearranging Congo. Let's not beat about the bush. Behind all this fighting, there is a question of a state. S-A-T-A-T-E. The people fighting want a state. You don't want them in Congo. They want a state. The UN is not telling us. The UN goes on propaganda, accusing everybody. Everybody. Uganda. Oh, I choose this one. I choose that. Most of the time I've held serious discussions about DRC Congo. My website is swamped by commanders of various factions. Some of them inbox me to say, we are here listening. Some of them say what they want to say openly, one or two. Huge, it is there on the record. And I've always been steadfast in saying, I'm not on the side of Rwanda. I'm not a government spokesman of the government of Uganda. I am an intellectual who discusses, who looks at conflicts. What is the problem? What was the problem of Yugoslavia? Yugoslavia gave Europe sleepless nights. Does Yugoslavia give Europe sleepless nights today? No. We have Bosnia. We have Serbia. We have Albania. We have Macedonia. We have Bosnia-Herzegovina. We have all these states have come out as a result of rearrangement of Yugoslavia. Are we going to have one state in Africa giving us headache since we got independence from 1960? Most of the governments in Uganda have collapsed. From Obote, Idi Amin, you saw the collapse between the war. I was alive, well grown up, when Idi Amin and Obote started quarreling about the diamonds of Congo and the gold smuggling that ended up by killing Brigadier Okoya. We know that, the history. That's younger Ugandans who are in the UPDF, who are studying just their first degrees, second degrees, or their PhDs, must go back and trace. Can we have one country in Africa causing us all the chaos we have? Because it is a country surrounded by 9 states. So what is the solution here? What is the solution here? The solution cannot be we sit and wait and watch as we people die. 7.2 million people are displaced. They need humanitarian assistance. Why should we leave 7.2 million people dying in the forest, in coal areas, in bad areas, being killed by different militias? When shall we resolve this problem? It is better to say the truth and be hated. It is better for Tshisekedi to hear the truth and hate me. I have no problem. I used to work with your father when he was in Paris. I have struggled equally for this democracy in Africa, in my own country. I met your late father. I have no regret of saying that his type of administration thinking would be the same as Dr. Matsanga's thinking. If you don't want the people, then where do you want them to go? If you don't want to integrate them into your army? Where do you want us to take them? If they come to Uganda, do you want Uganda to kill them? People have run to Uganda. They have run with their arms. Do we kill them? Where do we catch and take them? Tell us, tell the Uganda government that when you see them, catch and take them where? Do we kill them? What does Uganda need to do? It gives refugees sanctuary, which is very good. It's international law. 1951 allows refugees to settle in a country of the first arrival. There is nothing Uganda has done. UN has failed us. It has failed to document the truth of this conflict. It has failed to reach the point that I've just told you. You cannot resolve the Congo issue without a state. Let's begin from there. Let people disagree. If it is not a state, then you must change the structures of governance to give same autonomous states. India has over 2.5 billion people, but India is not at war apart from Kashmir. Why should we have a war? It brings me to the point that I want to bring to the public. Why should we have a war? Who in the UN is causing the chaos on the forefront of the confusion in Congo? France. The French have been playing a very silent operation. They like it this way. Now they are with Tshisekedi. They don't like Kagame. They don't want the oil to be dug from Masindi, from the Albertine region, because their companies withdrew. These are international factors. I'm a member of the International Institute of Strategic Studies, a member of Chatham House, Dr. Matsanga, a member of the Royal African Society that discusses, investigates some of these cases. As Pan-African Forum, as an organization, I do investigate these cases. I do find out what happens. I receive reports equally, like another person. Intelligence system would receive, because strategic studies. There's nothing you can beat me about intelligence reports in London of who is causing what. Uganda is not there. Uganda, mandated by the Congolese government to pursue the rebels of ADF who are in that territory. How far they will go is up to them and the agreement. I will state the facts that there is no more United Nations Security Council. We have 3 countries, and I hope that our Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, a friend of ours, of some of us who know him, we've struggled together with James Braithwaite and others. We know you. You have the ability to change the narrative of the United Nations Security Council. The Security Council is now divided, 2 nations versus 3 nations. 3 nations are together on the question of Israel and the Ukraine. 2 nations are not together. They are on the question of Palestine, and the Ukraine has divided the United Nations Security Council. Given that they were mandated under Chapter 7, Article 39 and 40. Guterres, Antonio Guterres, my friend, if you look at him making statements condemning small countries, looking at Sudan, he knows what is going on in Sudan. He knows that the United Arab Emirates, General Khalifa Haftar, an American passport holder who helped to dismember Libya and who hated Gaddafi, is part of the problem of the corridor, of the Nile corridor. Sudan is burning as far as Chad, because I know this conflict. I have been there. I've seen what is going on in those places of Chad. The rebels, over 30,000 troops, rebel, well armed, well uniformed, well gunned. They are there. Whose rebels are these? We know these things. Does UN see these things, which we ordinary people can go and find out? If you go and find out, ask who is the controller of the force which is in South Libya that killed General Idris Deby. Ladies and gentlemen, 7.2 million people need a humanitarian help, both in North Kivu and South Kivu. The rebels of M23 might not be saying what they want. I'm not their spokesman. But as a scholar, an international scholar of international conflict, I can tell you frankly that they want a state, and let them not be dishonest also. They should come out and tell the world, we want a state. We are being excluded from Congo. We want a state of our own. Then the world can grapple on how to create this state. That's all. Let's not waste people's time. Maybe planes will even kill people that we are doing peace process. Which peace process can you do? You can't do a peace process when the people fighting themselves have not told you. Kony told us what he wants. Bashir told us what he wants. President Museveni told us what we want on the question of northern Uganda. We flew in Khartoum. We flew in DRC Congo. We flew in Kampala. They told us what they want. We got the peace. Is northern Uganda not alive? The IRA of Northern Ireland, Mo Morem and Dr. Matsanga, as I was a student of political science in London Guildhall University, I accompanied as an intern. I worked on the question of Northern Ireland. The Irish army told us what they want. They told the British what they want. They were allowed to come and be part of the parliament. Why are we not taking what we want and hide it, kill people, and many people, Congolese government bringing in more troops from South Africa. South Africa, why did you target only a mine which has more diamonds? Why don't you help the civilian? Why are you protecting the mining area? Why? You want the minerals. What's your problem? Ladies and gentlemen, I can go on and lecture. Every moment that I make in my podcast changes your thinking. The Congolese, I am not against you. I'm a great friend of the people of Congo. Kabila is my friend. Even when his father died, I was in Zimbabwe when he was brought, and I was one of the few people who told Mugabe, let's install the lady, the gentleman. Yes, Emerson can be a witness if I'm wrong. Simbisio Moyo is gone. The Commander Moyo, Major General Simbisio Moyo. I saw what happened. I know what happened. We have old friends. We are friends. I've met Kabila twice in DRC Congo and a tree, and in Nairobi. He encouraged us to get a peace process. What is wrong with people of Congo? Why don't you sit down? Why do you call other people, these are Rwandese or these are Tutsi? Every place, Matsanga could be called a Luya, but originally I'm a Mugisu, where all the Luyas of Kenya come from. They come from our kingdom, all the way across the mountain. Most of the prominent Kenyans are relatives of my of my place. But they came here a long time ago. The border just separated us. So why do you call them juicy and allow them, you don't allow them to come back home and integrate in the army? Why do you refuse to talk to your own people? How shall we attain peace if Tshisekedi says he will not speak to those M23? Then how will peace come? UN has failed us. I'll rest and I land my mic. Matsanga Africa Perspective returns tomorrow with the topic, Nigeria. Is Nigeria collapsing? What can we do? Does Nigeria need rearrangement? The answer is yes. It is collapsing. Keep it there. Keep going. Africa by Africa, with Africa and for Africa. I'm Dr. David Matsanga. Good afternoon.